Press the bell icon on the YouTube app to never miss a video from News Laundry.
Hello and welcome. Today we have with us senior member and spokesperson of the BJP, Mr. Sudhanshu Trivedi. Thank you for coming on to this, sir. Welcome to News Laundry. I would call this a very special occasion because it has taken us 8 weeks to get someone from the BJP for our series. I've been chasing Mr. Sambit Patra for almost a month and he didn't respond to my calls. Mr. Kohli was very prompt, but he was out of station. Saina NC was out of town, and now we're very happy to have Mr. Trivedi with us. I'd like to start this special occasion with an auspicious name that BJP considers auspicious, Mr. M.S. Golwalkar. How close to BJP's heart is Golwalkar?
Actually, RSS is the biggest cultural organization of this country. And most of our leaders are Swayam Sevak of RSS. Obviously, Mr. Golwalkar was the second RSS chief. And if you want to look at RSS and want to look what Mr. Golwalkar has done during his tenure as a second Sarsang Chalak from 1940 to 1973, if I ask you, which is the biggest institution in the country which is having schools, maximum number of schools?
You've said this multiple times on panel
No, you tell me.
No, absolutely.
The most of the time, the problem is the people is not knowing.
Right.
It is Vidya Bharati run by RSS.
Right.
The biggest organization working in tribal areas. Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram run by RSS.
Yeah.
The biggest organization working for the scheduled caste people who can't afford their children to go to school is Ekal Vidyalaya run by RSS. The biggest student organization, ABVP, who is initiated from RSS. The biggest religious organization, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, is from RSS. And the biggest trade union, the combined strength of trade unions, of left trade unions are much more. But the single is Bharatiya Mazdoor Sangh. So what happened, over a period of time, they have covered all the aspect of life and done such a good work that it was during time of Mr. Golwalkar, when in 1962 China war, then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru has praised the role of RSS, and it was the time of Mr. Golwalkar when in 1965 war, the then Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri not only praised but allowed RSS to have participation in the 26th of January 66.
And he's also written 2 books which are very close to the heart of BJP and RSS. Now, something that I found interesting in the books that I read when he wrote We and Our Nationhood Defined, he also wrote something about praising Hitler. And this is something later that Savarkar, whose picture I saw outside, has also said that Nazism and fascism was a good way of leading a country to prosperity, like how Germany or Italy has done. Is that what BJP believes?
If you want to know that who believes in the ideology of Hitler, I would like to remind you, in 1934, one of the closest confidant of Hitler, Mr. Rudolf Hess, while demonstrating a movie which was very close to the heart of Nazis. The name of the movie was Triumph of the Will. Right. After the completion of movie, Rudolf Hess raised the slogan, Hitler is Germany and Germany is Hitler. And the same slogan was raised in India in 1975, Indira is India and India is Indra. By whom?
Right.
By Mr. Devkant Barua, who was the who was the then party president of Congress. Yes. And up till now, no party president of the Congress has denied or denounced that statement. It means it is still the official statement of the Congress party.
Absolutely. Let's not get into
that who believes in Hitler.
My question only is to understand how closely Golwalkar or Savarkar is held to BJP. So when such a statement is written, I'm trying to understand in today's context, when we know what Hitler has done and what Mussolini's caused, the number of people who've died, how importantly do you hold what Savarkar or Golwalkar has said?
No, if you want to study Savarkar, Golwalkar, then you have to study entire. That's why, as I've said, if you want to study RSS, then you have to study Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, Ekal Vidyalaya, Eklavya Vidyalaya, Vidya Bharati, Vigyan Bharati, Sankalp. In the same manner, if you're trying to take out one sentence
No, I'm not.
or
I'm
one
not.
statement.
So this is not like a panel discussion where I want to take something what you said out of context. I'm here to have an interview that definitely talks about what these panel discussions produce. So I'm not taking it out of context. I'm wondering. I want to ask you and give you the space to explain how closely you associate with such a sentence, because I would like to know, as someone who's in the citizen, is BJP an organization that would support what Hitler or
No, we don't
Mussolini
support.
did,
We are
like
not
it is
saying.
said in
We are
the
not
book?
saying, but one thing, if you want to know what Golwalkar has done, his statement was 3-4 statements. Why you do not read those statements? I am unable to understand.
Absolutely, sir.
No,
Don't
absolutely.
do
It's
that.
not absolutely. You are picking up one sentence. He has said, Idam Rashtraya Swaha.
Yes, but
Idam namam.
obviously I have
Na
to
Hindu patito bhavet. I think you are not able to even speak what he has said.
I might not be.
What is the
able to,
meaning of
sir.
Idam Rashtraya Swaha? Then
Sir,
what's the meaning
sir,
of it
that can't be a
discussing?
moral judgment.
In my opinion, don't take it otherwise. Most of the people are not able to understand what he has written, not able to understand the language because not able to understand the proper Hindi which is written. And they comes and they start discussing. It's very ridiculous.
Is this what you often face on panel discussions?
No,
Do you
never.
think anchors tend to take things
No,
and blow it out
these
of
type of
context?
things which has been consistently used and targeted against BJP and RSS have always fallen flat. 3 times they have tried to ban RSS. 1948, fallen flat on the court of law. 1975, couldn't prove. 1992, again fallen flat on the court of law. And still Rahul Gandhi is facing the court proceeding. Because he insisted on those type of things out of context taking, which are more from the impression than by the ground reality.
Do you ever think that as a spokesperson of a party, as a spokesperson, do you ever have to defend a position that you may not personally agree with?
No, never. If there is a such situation, then why I should go in the discussion?
Right. Do you get to make that choice as a member of the party that this I do not agree with, so I do not want to be part of this discussion? I don't want to take the party line.
Actually, most of the time, channels approach on their own. And in a very rare case, I think during the elections or some other things, when we are asked by the party that you have to go
Right.
on this channel or that channel. And in that case, we are convinced, then we go. And we are never asked about any such subject on which me or my party is not convinced.
Right. How do you judge today's panel discussions? Do you think it's become a shouting match? It's become entertainment? Do you think there's
Actually, I
constructive
think
debate?
that in the recent years, this habit of shouting and speaking over each other has become more and more. And I think because of that, the quality of discussion is not up to the mark for which the viewers are expecting.
And this, you would say, is a problem with anchors and media channels for propagating that?
I would not like to put a blame on anybody, whether particularly on any channel or anchors or attitude of anchors or other, but I can say that's overall. Rather than I would like to blame on political parties, because when they know that they are not having any defense, then the only option left is that you speak over each other, speak shouting, so that the debate gets derailed.
So you don't think a constructive debate happens? Do you think Mr. Patra screams too loudly sometimes?
No. No, he speaks quite well.
Right.
And he is having the pinch of aggression which is required, very much required at the
But
time.
that kind of shouting is okay.
No, but when somebody else is shouting too much, then you are forced to react. Otherwise, it will be seen that as you are keeping mum, and they start shouting on every second word. एक कहावत भी है, आई थिंक शायद चाणक्य नीति में लिखा है कि विवाद में और सामूहिक भोज में अक्सर वो व्यक्ति भारी पड़ने लगता है जो मर्यादा तोड़ देता है. It means whether it is, you can say, the common, like buffet type of thinking, common place in which the people are having food. And the second thing is some sort of heated discussion. So sometime those who try to cross the line of decency, sometime they seem to having an upper hand. But in my opinion, in the long run, I would just like to say one thing. During our childhood, we have to see that Sunil Gavaskar used to have a very technical batting.
Right.
And Kapil Dev used to have a sixes and fours.
Right.
But in the long run, who is considered as a great batsman? It was Sunil Gavaskar.
So
The batting of Kapil Dev, I am also a very good friend, admirer of him, and I met him also sometime. But that was entertaining, one thing. Attraction, one thing. Substantivity is other thing.
So there was this one panel discussion. I'm not sure if you watched it. Your party spokesperson, Mr. Patra, had gone on air to call Varis Pathan a Rohingya. So he said, "I will call you Mr. Rohingya because you support Rohingyas." In that same sense, like BJP obviously places a lot of value on the holy cow, and
On this
would you be
text-
okay if say I as an anchor or I as an interviewer decided to call you Mr. Guy?
On the issue of any personal comment by any of my colleague, I think you should better ask him that in what context the debate was going on and in what was the statement from the other side.
It was about Taj Mahal and what Sangeet Som said.
Only he can explain that what was the words from that side and was the sentence exactly this he has sent, or he has just spoken this sentence or what. So I think
So
he's the better.
I can explain the discussion if it makes
No,
sense.
since I was not part of that debate, so how I can react on just your narration? So it has to be the person who was part of that debate. He can give an answer.
So as spokespersons in the party, you all have differences when you're about the way you speak on channels?
No. There is no difference. Everybody is having its own style.
So it's not a difference.
It's not difference.
It's just
it's
that
like
you all-
a team is going for a cricket match. So every batsman or bowler is having its own style.
But there are no
ultimately-
disagreements with the style. Like you think it's completely okay for Mr.
There is no
Patra to say that.
disagreement. This is requirements. Like sometime you require a batsman who can stay on the wicket and save the wickets.
Yes,
And
but
sometimes you
cricket and a
require
battle
a
discussion
fireworks.
are also very different.
So this all the combination of various you can say styles brings
But
the
you
team to
don't
victory.
think some of these styles might actually contribute to lowering the quality of a debate, as you
The
said?
lowering of quality of debate has started from the other political parties. The reason being when the issue of corruption came. And blatantly the facts are against them. What they can do other than shouting. If they are consistently losing election and they have to face the questions, what they can do other than shouting. Like on the issue of Ram Temple, the Congress party, they are unable to express their heartiest will that what do they want. Ram Temple or the so-called Babri Mosque, which was called disputed structure by the Supreme Court. So what they can do shouting only. So that's why when we were in a position, if you remember, the debates were not of that type of shouting matches,
Okay.
like what it has become. Because,
So BJP doesn't engage in shouting matches.
no, what we are saying that when the other person is not having
Right.
any substantive answer, you go and see the recordings of some debates. You will see, and sometimes our political opponents consistently keep on speaking, non-stop. And somebody has to say, please, this is not here to, you are not here to give a speech. You are here for the panel discussion. I think you would have never find any of our spokesperson in a debate of 50
So
minutes.
I think you should watch Sangeet Patra's that
No,
interview
I am
when
saying
he said
consistently
Yeah.
speaking, non-stop, keeping on speaking.
But that happened on the panel discussion when you discussed about Sania Mirza being appointed as a brand ambassador, and your colleague just would not stop speaking, Mr. Rao, who was there, and as far as I understand, he had to be muted because he just would not stop.
Actually, if you want to ask about any instances regarding my colleagues in any particular debate, I think better you should ask them because
Right.
I do not
Fair
remember.
enough. So let's come to Sania Mirza's debate, right? So considering the number of ceasefire violations that are happening now at the border, some of the maximum ceasefire violations are happening, and everybody is saying, it might just be that India and Pakistan is on the brink of a war. Will you be calling up Sania Mirza to ask her where her loyalties lie? Because I believe
Why
at
we
that
should
time you had said on the debate that
Why we should
if
call?
there hypothetically is a war between the
Yes,
two countries.
in my opinion, I still say hypothetically, if there is a war, I think at the time it will be better that you go and ask their family members what do they say. Bas.
So,
Nothing.
just out of curiosity, I'm an unmarried woman. If I am to fall in love with a man, should I now be wondering whether if he's not an Indian, should I question? Would you say that I should question about my loyalties? I should wonder if my country goes into a war. Say if it's a Chinese man, and if I have to think. If India is going to go into a war with China, where will my loyalties lie? Do you think, as a young woman growing up in a country, this is a question that I have to ask
No,
myself?
sometimes this type of question comes. Like you remember that in 1930s, there was a very prominent great doctor of India, Dr. Courtney's, whose wife was Chinese. So it doesn't matter that whom you marry. But if it is with that country in which you are having a consistently inimical relationship. So in my opinion, then it becomes
So you would
a
advise
slightly
me
tightrope.
to sort of rethink it
No,
as a
I'm saying
Pakistani man.
then it becomes tightrope. Then it becomes your balancing capability, that how you balance your feeling. Because I will ask one thing, that if Sonia Gandhi, who is born in Italy,
Right.
and
You've made this argument
she
many
became
times,
Bahu of India, then the entire Congress party said, now her feeling is entirely with Sonia Gandhi, with India. How you can say she had nothing to do with Italy?
But like you said, it's also personal
So-
choice. I mean,
No, so then on the case of Sania Mirza, you give exactly contrary logic.
but that's because, sir, you decided to make a comment on her personal choice.
No, we do not want to have any comment on the personal choice.
Well, it
is
was
up to
your
them.
comment that hypothetically, if we go to war, we'll have to
No,
test
they
our
were
loyalties.
saying that we will remain as it is. The Congress person was saying, no, she will remain with the country of the birth. Then I asked
She
her-
said that.
She said that. Then I said, then what about Sonia Gandhi? So
but
then-
but
then
sir,
it was.
that's not the topic of conversation, isn't it? Do you think that happens a lot on panel discussions? That, like you said, when,
I
when you
have
don't
asked,
have an answer,
is it
it's
not
sort of
logical
digress.
on one case, one situation you are saying the place of birth is important, and other situation you are saying the place of marriage is important. अब आपको एक और बात
No,
बताता हूँ।
I'm not
नहीं,
sure
मैं- I'm-
who's saying this.
नहीं, अभी-
Are you saying this? Or?
No, they were saying this.
अच्छा.
So on that issue of Sonia Gandhi, they kept. अब जैसे मैं आपको
But
एक example
it is
देता हूँ.
kind of what you were
I
saying
will
as
give you
well,
one,
sir,
one more
if
example.
If I'm understanding this right.
One more example. For Sonia Gandhi, being the daughter-in-law of Gandhi family is more important. But for Indira Gandhi, being the daughter of Nehru is more important, not the wife of Feroz Khan. Why this contradictory logic in the same family in two generations? That's why I'm saying when this type of question comes, they are left with no other alternative except to shout.
But just in this simple context, if to me your advice would be if I say I wanted to marry a Pakistani man, you would tell me.
No, why I should advise? It is up to your personal choice, whatever you
But
want.
hypothetically, if it's a war, you'd call me.
No,
up and
then
ask.
it is up to you to decide. Hypothetically, if it is up to war, it is for you to decide. Because I can say one thing, that at the time of war, a person cannot have equal feeling for both the countries. So it is up to him or her to decide that on which side finally his or her
But
heart goes.
I can obviously still marry a Pakistani man and say I'm a proud Indian, right?
There is no problem about it.
So that's okay. Okay. Do you see your job as a spokesperson as a job or as an opportunity to serve Sri Ram?
No, as a opportunity to serve the party or to the society, putting the various facts and things in proper perspective.
Because
I think it's a-
your party has also always taken the line that this is a job we're doing to serve Lord Sri Ram. So in that context, I'm wondering, how do you, as
Yes,
Anshu
because
Trivedi, see this job?
yes, I am having full faith in Sri Ram, and it will be a great achievement if the country lifts up the idea of Sri Ram. Because if I ask you, who was the father of nation? Mahatma Gandhi. What was his political vision? Ram Rajya.
Swaraj.
What was the everyday bhajan of Mahatma Gandhi? Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. What was the last word which came out from the mouth of Mahatma Gandhi? Hey Ram. What is written on the samadhi of Mahatma Gandhi? Hey Ram. So Ram symbolizes the entire and sum and substance of the political thought of our father of nation. It has to be lived up. But unfortunately, the same Congress party, after 60 years in 2007, they have given an affidavit to the Supreme Court of India that Ram doesn't exist. It means they have made a mockery of the entire ideal of Mahatma Gandhi. So we are with the ideals of Mahatma Gandhi, and Congress, for the sake of political interest, unnecessarily created rift on the issue of Ram, when you know which is the biggest Muslim country in the world, Indonesia, in which every day on national broadcaster Ramayana comes. They never have any problem. They say this is the cultural issue and our religion is different. In Thailand, the king of Thailand was having the title, who's recently died last year, Bhumibal Atul Tej King Rama the Ninth. He is not Hindu. If the queen of South Korea say that they are having descendancy from Ayodhya, this is their culture. The Christian and Buddhist are there. But unfortunately in India, they have created an issue.
No, not yet.
In India, unnecessary because of the vote bank politics, they have created an issue. And the issue was to that extent. In 1987, in Shah Bano case, you are reverting the judgment of the Supreme Court that divorcee woman cannot get, I think it was 120 rupees per month, because it is against religious belief. And the government and the state of India should not have an iota of interference in when the matter of religious belief comes. Okay. On the next year, on the issue of Ram temple, you say that where Ram was born, the court should decide, and it should be decided as a title suit. And if you are going with this parameter for one community, another, so you have created a rift.
Is it possible to become a member of BJP without believing in Hinduism?
For that, what Hinduism is, the person should be knowing it. Whether believe or not believe, for that you must understand. Like, you say that I want to have a graduation in physics or chemistry, then at least you should understand what physics is and what chemistry is. So,
But you learn it through the process.
so Hinduism, as per the 1995 court judgment, is a way of life. And if you go by Jawaharlal Nehru's Discovery of India, I think on page number 73 or 74, he has written that the word Hindu is a very later induction after 10th or 11th century, and it is related to all persons and culture in the Indian subcontinent, irrespective of religion and belief. And not only this, Nehru has written the Discovery of India that if it has to be taken in the narrow meaning of religion, it will not be appropriate.
Right. Do you make a difference between Hinduism and Hindutva?
No difference. And Hinduism is the core of India, because if you look at all major countries of the world, India is the only country which never went for invasion. Why? If at all you consider Hinduism as a religion, we do not consider Hinduism. It is the only religion.
I'm so confused. Hinduism
Is a way of life.
It's not a
so
religion.
if in the present context, somebody thinks that Hinduism is a religion, if at all, then it is the only religion which never believes in conversion.
So I can be a Hindu but call myself a Muslim because it's not a religion. But Islam is a religion.
No, actually what happened, religion is having, I'm having meeting 12:10.
Okay.
Or we can do it after 15 minutes.
It's just 2 more questions. Just to give a context, my question was, if I can call myself a Hindu as a way of life, but be a Muslim in terms of religion.
I will give you an example. There are lakhs and lakhs of Hindus who goes on mazars. But Hinduism do not consider that they have become Muslim. But even if a Muslim puts a tika on the forehead, so many fatwas come.
No, I'm just asking in my case.
So in the case of Hinduism, there was no barrier.
Right.
Whatever faith you are having. That's why in all the Indian born religion, you will see that a Hindu can go to Gurdwara, can go to Jain temple, can go to Buddha stup, can go to mazars, can go to church, no problem. But the problem is in the Semitic religions, it is not allowed.
Okay.
if you are a Christian, then you have to go to church. You are not allowed to go to temple. And if you are a Muslim, you have to go to mosque. Yeah. So that's why I am saying Hinduism is not a religion. It's a philosophical thought on a larger canvas.
Last question, sir. Do you think media is independent today or does it have political leanings? And which is that spokesperson that you are sort of intimidated to be pitted against from another party? These two.
In my opinion, media is enjoying the biggest freedom or the largest freedom these days because to the best of my memory, I am not having any memory when any government or any prime minister has been criticized and abused with these type of dastardly words which were very oftenly used in media. So in my opinion, this is the height of...
We are also at a point where like media has to discuss whether a film...
But as far as the leaning is concerned, actually every person and the journalists are intellectual persons. So they are having a thought and thought is having an ideology. So obviously anybody can have any sort of thought inclined towards any ideology. It is left, right or center, whatever it is.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Trivedi, for this interview.
That was Mr. Trivedi. If you like this interview and would like to see more of such content, subscribe to News Laundry. Remember, when the viewers pay, viewers are served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. So subscribe to independent media.